How we doing today, man? Your boy kind of got rinsed today. And you might be looking here and seeing, well, what about these trades? We'll get into that. A little bit late of a video today because I just got distracted. Or not distracted. I was talking. I was in a live call with a dude that is pretty dang good at trading. And this is just the preface, right? And then I'll talk and then we'll talk about this again. But I just wanted to show you guys this to kind of motivate some people. This is not me. Actually, you know what? This is me. Buy my course and use my code. Use my code because this is the results, right? This is all my 20 Apex accounts. Use code Diego Apex checkout. Same thing with Alpha Futures. But in all seriousness, I want you guys to look at this. You guys can see right here. If you zoom in on your screen, it says PA Apex. This is real accounts, and this is a real dude. This is a real guy. It's not TJR, it's not Justin, it's not Dodgy. It's a real dude that doesn't sell a course who's making money trading about the rent a nice apartment trading, right? 400, right? I'm not going to go in detail the strategy and everything, but he trades one-to-ones with flags, right? That's all you need to know. So that's why it's always the same. He always makes 400 every single day. It's not the same screenshot if I ever show another one, but it's because of whatever, right? He does the same trade, right? Weekly P&L. I guess because of the commission, obviously, but he's up 400. This is his first trade of the week, right? Again, something we'll talk about later. But I just want you guys to take a second here and get motivated by this. That's 400, 400, 400. That's 1,200, 1,600, 2,000, right? 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2,000. Let's go another 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4,000. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6,000. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. $8,000. And then I think some of these were some evals. I'm not sure. But again, even if it wasn't an eval. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. $10,000 day. Right? And this is just one day. And again, you have to get the winning days. You have to do all the stuff to get the payouts. But I just wanted to show you guys that and show myself it really, because that's the level. That's what we're working towards. That's what we'll get to. And that's not even in game, right? That's amazing. I wish I could be doing that. But just stick to the process. Stick to the process. Don't panic. Just keep getting better, right? That's what it is. I took 2 losses today. I'm going to go over them. I even took a third trade, and I'll go over that as well. But I took 2 losses, right? And if I would have made this video when did I take my second loss? I took it around like 10:50. If I would have made my video at 11 o'clock, so that was a long time ago, I would probably sit here and tell you that I don't know if I was going to keep trading. I was probably going to quit, or I made trade strategies, all this stuff. But then I took a deep breath, and I just sat there, and I just really reflected on the day, and I asked myself, what actually happened? And man, my hair is looking like so bad right now. And I would ask myself, what actually happened today? What actually happened? Again, what I say in a video before, I'm cutting out all the negativity. There's no point to be negative ever again. Like, there's no point to be negative because it's just not a good mind frame. Why would I want to be negative? I don't want to. So what happened today? What happened earlier in the day, right? Let's just start with this. What happened? Well, I was going to take a long early. I was going to take a long because we had this high, and then we had this high that we got right off open. We just placed lower, and at this point, right, the market's dumping. What am I going to do? Oh, well, I don't know, right? I don't know. That's fine. So then I see this gap, and I was saying I'm going to take this long if we get it. We don't close above. I see this black candle, and I'm like, cool. I'm going to still go long. This is even better. Candle doesn't close. Candle doesn't close. Close. Nope. So I say, I'm not going to take this trade, even though it did end up closing. Main reason I didn't take this trade is because of the chop, but also because the stop loss would have been pretty big. It would have been 60 points, so I would have had to take 1 micro. If we took 1 micro, we would have hit the 100 points anyways, the 2R, but or the 1-to-1R or whatever we would have targeted. But I like to at least take 2 micros, so I need at least a 50-point stop, and we would have been stopped out, and it would have still worked. And I'm pretty sure, I thought that this fair value gap didn't inverse, but let me check. I'm pretty sure it didn't inverse, but where are we? 1 minute. I thought it didn't inverse back down. So it didn't. Okay. So top step X is being weird. We didn't inverse back down. All right. We close above and we wick, and then we shoot up. So this trade technically was a winner. I just didn't like it, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's actually good. It's a good thing I stayed out of it, even though it won, even though it was good. Right? There's nothing wrong with that trade. So I didn't take that trade. Why not? Because it just took too long to get through. I didn't like it, but it should have. Or, no, I shouldn't have still taken it. It just didn't do what I wanted to see it do, right? I didn't do what I wanted to see it do. Cool. We also had news at 9:45. It didn't really end up doing anything. Market pumps. What am I looking for now? I was looking for this high before, and this also the thing too. I was looking at this high as well. So we had the stacked highs. So we had this stacked high, and this high from 709. And we ended up running them. Cool. That would have been a really nice trade, really beautiful trade. So what happens? The fair value gap that breaks the high ends up holding. So this is another key area for me. I want to see this. This could have been an entry. I don't trade like this, but this could have been an entry. Live time, you see this wick get put in close strong after rejecting the fair value gap that breaks the highs, right? This fair value gap broke this high and carried us to this high. So this is really important. If we inverse this gap, you can expect lower. If we hold it, we can expect higher. And then where do we pump to? We pump to this gap right here, which is right there. And we could have expected that because why? It's the last little bit of liquidity left in the day, right? Or left from this session, right? This is all just accumulation. We have a V shape, we sweep the low, we get a displacement. So I'm bullish at this point because we pull back 50% of this range. I'm kind of going quick, but I feel like a lot of you guys follow the same concepts. So we pull back to 50%. And this is not the main talking point of the video anyways, so I'm trying to go quick anyways. So we get that, right? So what am I thinking here? Now I want to see some sort of either continuation higher because we do have relative equal highs here, or I want to see move lower. At this point, what was I looking at, right? So we see that, and I want to either see us resweep this high, like come down, resweep, and then get a short, or inverse everything in its way. So what happened? Kind of get rid of this stuff now. Get rid of this. So what happens here? We have a 5-minute gap here, and we have a 15-minute gap as well. That's right around here, so we'll just mark the 15-minute gap. Is that the 15-minute gap? Yeah, this is. So this is the 15-minute gap, and I want to see what happens here. I don't think we end up closing it. No, we don't. We don't end up closing until this is another 50. So we don't close it until a little bit later. So we close it on this candle right here. Go ahead and print this out. So we close on this candle right here, 9:44. This is the candle close. So we inverse the gap, the 15-minute. So at this point, we inverse the 15-minute gap. Now I'm looking for shorts because I wanted to see us run this low resistance liquidity right here. I wanted to see us run lower. So what was my first trade though? My first trade was we run lower, we put in this high, we run lower, and we sweep out the low at the time. And then ES, if we go on the 1-minute chart, ES swept out. Ooh, we made it equal lows. Dang. Is that an equal low? Wow, equal lows. Oh my gosh, I thought we swept that low. It doesn't really change much. But I end up taking a long because we inverse this tiny gap. I want to go over why this isn't a terrible trade, but also why I learned from it. And the main point of this video, and again, I'm rushing through things because there's so much I want to say, but I don't. Try not to. Let me. Hopefully it doesn't matter. Do I want to restart this whole video? I'm literally just gonna edit that like 1 second out of this video. And if I do edit, if I don't edit, you'll see it. But if I do edit, I just slipped up. But I don't want a 40-minute video, so I'm trying to explain quick. This trade, yes, technically we swept the low, we get an inversion, I get in, and it ends up getting close to the break-even point. My take profit is around here, and it stops me out. I close the trade when we close back below. When we got this candle down right here, close the trade. Cut it for about $100 loss. Cool. I don't hate this trade. Why? Because it fits, right? We were in a 5-minute gap at the time right here. We were in a 5-minute gap. We swept the low. We had immediate reaction off it. And then we get immediate move, right? Cool. And we were lower on ES. ES was all the way down to like around here or wherever, this one. So we were a lot lower. Cool. We made equal lows though, so that's something else I've noticed. But cool. I don't mind this loss. But why I'm going to go over why these ones were better trades later, and why, again, the most important thing about trading, or for me, is that I need to get to a point where I'm only taking good setups, and I'm only taking good, or I'm following my rules every time. I don't over leverage. I don't spam trades. I stop when I need to, so I can trust myself. Why? Because all that I need to do is build trust in myself, because I can tweak setups. I can tweak entries. I can adjust small things if I need to. If I need to adjust small things, I can. Because Of what? Why do I need to adjust small things? I need to adjust small things because that's how you succeed at trading. If you have your discipline down, if you have your psychology down, you don't over leverage, you don't over trade, you don't do whatever, then all that's left to do is become profitable. Because if you're taking the right leverage, if you're taking the good setups, or if you're taking only the steps you should be taking, if you're winning, you'll make money. And if you're not winning, then all you have to do is figure out what's going wrong in your strategy. So my biggest focus has to be now strategy, or focus on the things I can control. Risk, amount of trades, trade quality. Is it FOMO? Is it something I think looks good? And I can learn. So this trade looked good live time. Looking back, it's not that good because we had one high here. I like to have at least two to target. So we had one high, right? I like two. Why? Because this is a lot of times we just generate more liquidity. Generate liquidity, run lower. This now becomes the accumulation. We manipulate lower, and this is where I get my second trade. And then we distribute higher. Kind of choppy day, a pretty choppy day, but with good delivery, right? Overall, with good delivery, just kind of slow to get there. What was my second trade? My second trade was I wanted to see this 5-minute inverse right here. And we got the 5-minute inverse here, and then I also waited and got the 2-minute inversion right here. I was going to go break even, or I was going to take profit at this low right here. So I got in on this 2-minute inverse. Why is this trade not good? Well, this is not a trade that, when you look at it, it's not textbook. It's not a textbook IFVG. Why? Because we're shorting. If we look at this, we are shorting just simple stuff. We're shorting below discount, right? I would need a short above here. I was going to say mathematically, but just like logically, right? ICT, whatever you want to do. Logically, it'd make more sense to short above here in this range. Also, why is it not right? Because this trade only works if I'm completely correct on the direction, and I'm not going to be correct all the time. So this trade's not that good. I took this trade, put my stop loss right here, or like around here, wherever. Doesn't really matter. Same thing. And I was going to target this low, and I was going to make back my loss in a little bit, right? Cool. This trade didn't work. It could have worked, but it didn't. And these types of trades I need to cut out because, again, it was an inversion. I like the idea. I like the way ES looked a lot, and ES got really close to this low right here. And I was going to go break even if ES swept the low, but we didn't. And this looks really good. And on the ES, on the higher time frame, on the 5-minute, it looked really good. Why? Because we had the sweep here. We had an SMT. We had an SMT here, so we had a bearish SMT, right? Like, this was a good idea. It just wasn't the best execution. We had an SMT. We swept out these highs. We didn't sweep out here on NQ, right? We swept out that right here. Cool, all this, all together. 5-minute inverse this gap. We had a 5-minute retap of a real 5-minute or fair value gap. We had a 5-minute inversion. Just looks great, right? It looks great. We have a 5-minute change in state delivery here. We changed state delivery. On here, we have this order block, rejection of the order block, really good, right? And we don't get there. And it would have been really good if we would have got down to this low, and we didn't. We got really close, right? And then we just didn't. So that, like, it was cool. It was a good idea of the price, reading the price, but it wasn't a great execution of the entry. Why? Because I'm shorting on the way down. I'm shorting on way too low. And this is the thing. Like, people are gonna sit here and comment, "Oh, like you're an idiot. You shouldn't have done this." I don't care. This is how you get better at trading. You lose and you learn from it. I didn't over leverage. I didn't whatever. Like, I did what I needed to do. I just took bad trades. I didn't take a bad trade. I took a losing trade. I took a trade that I can learn from and objectively say this, and this is something I don't want to do because this, and this happened. So that's what it is. It's not that I took a bad trade. A bad trade is, oh, market's going up, let me get in. Oh my gosh, and then it loses. Oh, that was a bad trade. Or it wins. That's a bad trade. This was a learning opportunity, right? And I learned from this because I liked the frame of the idea, but it just wasn't good. I would have much rather taken a trade. I would much rather have taken a loss on a short here, right? Why? Because we came back up, manipulated higher first, rebalanced, manipulated the highs, and then got a move, and it still would have lost. But I would much rather lose there. What was the third trade? Well, the third trade was as soon as I lost. Again, I told you guys I was in the call with the guy that makes the money, and he does well, and he has a lot better psychology than me. As soon as this inversed, and again, it plays out, but I ended up getting into this position, and I ended up, I was going to target this high. I would have never actually got there, but I would have whatever. Who knows, right? The idea was fine. I got into this trade and I immediately closed it for like a $10 loss because I was like, I shouldn't take this trade. Like he was yelling at me not to take the trade. Don't take another trade, whatever. And then I entered the trade and I just realized like, why? Like I would try and do 2 trades. This is a good trade. This is a good setup. But also, right, we got a better one like a minute later or a few minutes later. So why was this a good trade? Well, we had the accumulation. We manipulate lower, and then we get the displacement. This is the setup. When you look at your chart today, where is the obvious inversions? Here, in my opinion, and here, right? And why do those work? Look at where I took mine, right here. Is this obvious? Can you see that? Can you even see that? Like, do I need to zoom in more? Right? You can barely see this. Like, and that's the thing is like, that's what's disappointing is because that's the difference between being profitable or not being profitable is I'm doing the same thing, the same model, but I'm not trading it to the best of its ability. And that's why I'm glad I took some time to make this video because now I can come back and reflect and not be so upset. But in reality, like, it's a great learning day. I took bad trades. Cool. I can learn from it. Like, it doesn't really matter. Yes, I'm sad that my account's down $500. Yes, I'm sad I lost $300 today. But at the end of the day, like, it doesn't matter because I will succeed at some point if I just keep narrowing down. If I can just keep risking proper risk, stopping when I lose twice, not taking dumb setups, not just jumping into something and FOMOing, right? Like, if I can just do the small things right, then we'll be fine, right? We'll be fine. And that's what I have to tell myself. Because what happened later? These are the clear steps. And I want to go over these, not because I took them, but because I want to go over why this is so much clearer. What happens here? So we have this displacement, and this would have been a fine entry. It would have came up, came down. If you held your stop, you would have got take profit or you would have been stopped at break even, right? Because this was actually, the risk to reward is not good because you have to have your stop down here, and then you can't even take profit there, so it'll probably be a break even trade. But if you just don't move break even, I'm not going to go into the specifics, right? It doesn't really matter. But what happens? We get the move. We make another high right here. We make another high right here. It doesn't sweep out this high, right? Equal highs, basically. We come down, and who knows? At this point, this candle here, we could keep dumping. Could keep dumping. Did we make an SMT there? Yeah, we made an SMT, right? We ran these highs out. So we ran this high already on this move up. So we could dump through here. But then what happens? And Q still is equal highs. We have a fair value gap. I don't know what's happening here. It starts flipping bullish. Closes above. Trendline liquidity. Close above. Get in. Risk 25 points. You could risk 4 micros. And then target 29 points. 1 to 1.5. Cool. Winning day if I just waited for this. And look, isn't this setup way more obvious for how I trade than this one, this short, or this long? Yes. But it's about doing that live, doing that every day. That's the hard part. That's what separates. And then what happens? It comes back down instantly. So if you didn't take profit here, you would have either lost or got stopped at break even. And then what happens? Slow grind, slow grind, slow grind. Building low resistance liquidity. What do we do here? We make an SMT at the high. We have a clear rejection wick. We have our, like you see, the high here. ES comes up, sweeps the high out. We get them pushed down. We have the only fair value gap on this leg right here on the 2-minute. There's nothing here, only low resistance liquidity. We inverse, that's your entry. You could risk 4 micros again for $200, 25 points, and then just target this low and be happy, right? Why do you need more? And if you wanted more, you could have got more, right? And you could have hit a 3R, but I don't need more. I just need what I need, right? I just need 1-to-1s, 1 to 1.5s. Cool, if you want to have your stop here, you could have got that, still 1-to-1, right? Whatever you want to do, this setup's better. It's bad time of day, like 12:10, I probably wouldn't trade here, but this trade is like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but these are the obvious ones. These are the obvious clear setups, and they work a lot better because they're the clear and obvious ones, right? SMT at the high, clear rejection, singular gap, good risk, good targets, right? These are the setups. If I waited for them, if I waited for these setups, I would be fine. And that's why I'm glad I waited and make this video, because I would have probably just talked about, oh, switching strategies. I don't know if this is going to work. I don't know if I can do it. I just lose all the time. I'm so unlucky. And it's not luck. I'm not getting unlucky. I'm just not being patient enough. I'm not being whatever. And again, I'm going to get a million comments talking about, oh, be more patient. Do that. This is why I make the videos. This is why I reflect. This is why, because this is how you get better. This is the process. You start trying to follow your rules better, and then you start trying to take better trades, and then you just tweak things. You see, okay, because live time, I don't know. When this is starting to happen, all you're thinking about is, when I'm thinking about this short here, this short, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I have to get in here. But what if the short did this? What if it did something like this? And this would have been a way better trade. But because you don't know, you're thinking that's going to do this. You're thinking it's going to do this. Oh my gosh, it just ran lower and just went straight down. Oh my gosh, I missed the trade. And if this happens, you miss the trade. Big deal, right? But this is what happens majority of the time. Big move down, right? All of this, boom, big move down, right? Big move down. Leaves the low, oh, I can't point, but like leaves the low right here, leaves these lows. Comes down maybe a little further, leaves it, comes back up, leaves it again. Now we have this low, and we have this one over here. And then we get one more push up, boom, maybe we have an SMT, whatever, we have a fair value gap tap. Cool, we swept some sort of liquidity. We swept liquidity here. And then we get the IFVG here. Right? That's a terrible box. But then you get the inversion. And then it trades and plays out. And the hard part with trading is that this model right here, the SMT, the liquidity sweep, the fair value gap tap, the equal lows, the stacked lows. We had 3 lows right here. 1, 2, 3. We get the inversion. This is your entry. And again, I drew this, so it didn't actually happen, but these things happen. And this is what you have to wait for. I can't just worry about, oh my gosh, if I don't get in here, it could go all the way down. Why don't I wait for this to print? Because it either goes all the way down. These are the 3 options. There's only 3 options. There was only going to be 3 options of this trade, right? I either get in this trade, and I get in the trade, and it runs straight to take profit. That's ideal. Or it does what it does and just runs straight against me. Or it does this, where it comes down, chops. And I'd much rather, I don't need to gamble here. I don't need to gamble with this position just running straight to take profit. I can wait, and if it does go straight down here and takes out this low, cool, I'm just not in the trade. But if it doesn't, and I get this, then this is an A+ setup. This is a setup I can take. This is a short. This is a short that I can take with better risk more, whatever. This is a beautiful trade. So that's where that's the level I have to get to. That's where I have to understand. That's where I have to get to. And again, that's exactly here, right? When I see this move here, do I need to enter here? I could, but what's a better entry? I wait. I don't know that we're not going to take this high. Again, this could run, and just like we were saying, it could run and take out these highs right here already, right? We could just sweep the high. But we don't, because, and that's the thing, I convince myself all the time that I forget that setups actually happen, right? This is a bread and butter setup where we make all these highs, where we make all 3 of these highs right here. This is a bread and butter setup for a reason, because it happens. Because we do leave this high, and then we come down, and then we get this entry right here, and then we get a really nice push. That happens. So I don't need to concern myself if it doesn't happen, because it's just not the trade. And that's it's easier said than done, because it's so easy. It's just so easy to do the opposite. It's so easy to think, oh, well, this one's going to go. Oh, this one's like, wait for it to be obvious, right? That's all my point of my video is today, is wait for it to be obvious. And again, I'm talking to myself. I'm reviewing this for myself. I have to wait for it to be obvious, because when it is obvious, it's obvious, right? And if it's not obvious, it's not obvious. And I'm overcomplicated. I'm like, I'm taking bad setups. I'm wondering why I'm losing. It's like because I'm not waiting for the proper setups. I'm not waiting for the proper trades. And it's just so frustrating, because it's so simple. Yet I make it such a grueling process. Scaling up is going to take a while. I'm going to pull back up this picture. All right? To get to this point is going to take me a while. Do I want to be there? Yes, dude. If I had this day right now, I would call my mom crying and tell her to retire, right? Like, this is the goal for everyone. And not even just the end goal, but this is a big goal. Like, to ever see anything like this. I have one account that my best days look like maybe this. Like, I would see one of these would be my best day, and you cut off everything else, right? Remove all these, and just this would be my best day right now. But I have to be happy with that. I have to be happy with the process. Did I do the right thing? Did I take the right step? Did I do what I needed to do? Right? That's the goal. And this thing I have to remind myself, there's no difference between, if I took a trade and I won today, between these trades and just one account. What's the difference? It's the patience to follow your rules all the time, every single day. You can't get here in one day. You have to follow your rules consistently over and over and over. What else is it? It's showing up over and over and over. It's just following your rules, getting better, tweaking your strategy, and you can be here, right? You see all these accounts, cash value of all these PA accounts, 2,400 in all of them, pretty much. Or like some of them have 1,600. Like, if you add up all the money on these accounts, like it's a lot, right? And not life changing but like a great amount of money. And that's what we have to remember I feel so overwhelmed. I have one account, it's down. It just feels like, oh, well, this account's just gonna get blown. Well, no. And if it does, it doesn't matter, because I don't need to pay out from this account. I don't need to pay out from the next one. I just need to keep following my rules, keep getting good subs, and keep getting better. I need to remove the ego of winning, losing. I don't care. I don't care that I have to post a video about losing today, because I got better. I got better today, right? I could reflect. I learned. I didn't completely blow all my rules. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I got better today. So that's why I'm not embarrassed to post losing, because this is real. This is the process. This is how you get better. You try and follow your plan better. And you just try and get better. You try and identify things better. You try and practice more patience. And eventually the things will click like they need to click, and I'll be more patient. I'll wait for the A+ subs, and everything will work out great. That's the point. That's why we do this. In the video there, man, sorry, so late. It's 2 o'clock. Oh my gosh. I've never posted a video this late. So please use my code. I'm just saying this because I know there's one guy in particular, Angelo, I think is his name. I don't even know, dude. Weird guy. But he hates when I plug my code. He says I'm selling out. But please help your boy out. Use Alpha Futures code Diego and Apex if you're buying accounts. Use my code. It really does mean a lot. And please screenshot me if you use it. Let me know. Like, I want to thank you personally, and I'm doing giveaways at when they reach $500. So let me know. Like, it helps me. And again, I just really appreciate it, because I'm not rich. Some of you guys can tell. But yeah, man, I appreciate all the support in the videos. Yesterday I was talking about how I'm just going to make videos just to make videos, document the process, just like today. Like, today I didn't do anything for the video or whatever. Today was a real day, and that's what it's going to be until I can come with the $10,000 days, which I would love to. It's just going to be the process, and that's it. And I just have to accept it, and you're going to have to accept my videos for what they are. So appreciate all the support, man. It really does mean a lot. It keeps me going, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.